You want to talk about it?
Christian Watson's okay. So that's good.
That is good.
Yeah.
That's it, huh?
Zach Tom looks like he's okay. No structural knee damage. That's good.
Okay.
Evan Williams, he seems like he's going to be okay. So that's good.
Yeah, but I don't know if the Packers are going to be okay.
Yeah, I might have to donate my ACL.
Ooh, I'll remove it.
Yeah.
We'll live stream the surgery.
Oh, baby. We here.
We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is a G. Uppy. S. And the S stands for sorrow.
Oh,
It's true. It stands for sorrow.
not over here.
No?
Some of us are riding high today.
Riding.
Gonna ride high all week.
Got the overdogs.
We're the overdogs. We're the winners in the AFC. We don't have to worry about the Chiefs. We got to play the Jags. Maybe worry about the Bills. I don't know. It was a great game for the Broncos. It was a terrible game for the Packers. Not because of the way they played, but because of all the injuries you guys suffered. I didn't want to beat you that way, but that's just football sometimes.
Happy football.
And Troy Franklin,
Good
never
today.
dropped a pass.
Troy
Never-
Franklin, he's good today.
He was good.
That's it.
Well, he was good yesterday.
Bills.
Was he good today?
Well,
don't
that's,
know.
it goes from.
I
Depends
don't
on what
know.
the day is. No, dude, Bo Nix. I mean, you talk about that offense, and you and I talked about this on Friday, just how our pass rush was non-existent after Micah Parsons got hurt. But when terms about like how good that offensive line is, they're playing like the best in football. No sacks on Bo Nix, right? So he had loads of time to throw. The play design was great, constantly getting guys open. And on the inverse of that, the Packers, hold on, let me just see here. Yep, the Broncos were pressured Jordan Love 52.2% of dropbacks. And they played a whole lot of zone yesterday. So how good the Broncos have been in man and how good Love has been going up against man. You know, the Broncos defense whipped up something a little bit different and decided, you know what? We're going to get rid of the man. We're going to go zone. Got in the zone. Auto zone.
Yeah. They it's always tricky when you try and do something that's not necessarily your strength, but you're like the guy we're facing is really good at what we do well. If we can throw something a little different at him, one, maybe that won't be exactly what they expect, and two, maybe it'll work. I don't know, like if they dialed up more zone specifically in the second half versus the first half, because in the first half, like the Broncos weren't slowing Jordan Love down at all.
I mean, the start of their first series, they did really well. They scored a touchdown in, what was it, like 3 plays, the Packers? So like they were moving.
Yeah, that was to start the third quarter.
Yeah.
You mean when the refs discriminated against Riley Moss again? That
And
drive?
rightfully so.
Yeah, that one.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, it's
hold
like,
on real quick. I love how we're changing our tune because now we've been on the internet, but during you're like, oh, he got his hand on him.
yeah, but then I looked at it again
Oh, okay. Okay.
and I said, nope,
Oh,
discrimination.
okay. So we saw the internet and was like, wait a minute, the internet.
No, I saw the
bring
play
me-
again.
Oh,
I
okay.
watched the play.
Because during the thing, when we looked at the replay again, you were like, oh, he got his hand in there. That's a good call.
Yeah. You remember that Micah Parsons pass interference didn't get called?
Sure. You want to talk about
Remember?
Micah Parsons' lack of
Ripped our
holding?
guy's arm off.
I want to talk about
Tried
that.
to
He's
rip
trying
his
to hold
arm
hands,
off and
man.
then beat him over the head with his own arm.
I mean, that would have been
That was
interesting to see.
egregious.
That
He was
would have
probably
been.
trying to harvest organs and ligaments.
Then he's got to rip off knees.
After the Netflix roasting of Tom Brady, I'm scared ESPN's coming for my cum jokes. You stay away from my cum jokes, ESPN! I'm the king of jizz. I'm the king of jizz, ESPN, not you.
I really think you could do ventriloquism. I think you could do it. You were getting like some good, like I could hear still everything you were saying when you're talking through your teeth. I think you could pull it off.
I could.
But you choose not to.
I'm the king of jizz.
See? I don't
I'm the
even-
king of jizz.
I'm telling you.
Who is me or them?
Let's see if Amazon Good Sports could top that.
Yeah.
Looking at just there. Nay.
Did that guy say there was nonstop hatred for me?
People were upset. The chat was not fun yesterday for either of them. There was a whole lot of people who were also praising Mahomes and Parsons injuries. So that was super fun. Yeah, it was great.
Classy.
We brought the best out of the best out of yesterday.
You keep those thoughts in your brain. You think them, but you never say them aloud.
Packers cursed like the Lions. I mean, the Lions lost, but they still have a shot to make it. They're still, I think they have it's like a 40-something% chance to make the playoffs still. So Lions are not out of it. And technically, the Cowboys are not mathematically eliminated. They have less than a 1% chance to make it into the postseason. So they're pretty much eliminated, but technically not yet.
Elimination.
But yeah, I mean, for the Broncos, dude, I mean, Bo Nix throw for over 300 yards. He had a phenomenal game, 4 touchdowns. And RJ Harvey was kind of limited on the ground, too. He got banged up. Is he okay?
Harvey? We don't know yet. He injured his ribs. So
Hopefully
the
nothing serious
extent of
there.
Harvey's injury is unknown. Obviously, we're already down J.K. Dobbins. Don't want to lose Harvey for any time, really, especially against Jacksonville coming up.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough game. I mean, Jacksonville, I mean, good God, Trevor Lawrence was a monster yesterday. But one of the things I wanted to highlight, too, because they were highlighting this before the game as well, about how good the Packers have been in the red zone and then how good the Broncos have been at stopping, folks in the red zone.
Yeah.
So the Packers were 1 for 4 yesterday in the red zone. Broncos, a perfect 4 for 4. So their offense in that second half really started operating well. And they, again, he had plenty of time and he was able to dice up that secondary.
Yeah, and all 4 of those touchdowns were passes from one Bo Nix. So it was probably Bo Nix's best game as a pro, too.
Yeah.
Is that just Bo coming into his own here late in the season? Is that the Packers defense kind of maybe showing some of their flaws? Probably somewhere in the middle there. But like, if you're a Broncos fan after that game, it wasn't just defeating Green Bay, who was like the type of opponent that the Broncos needed to beat to convince people that we're a fucking good football team. It's been really hard to do this year for whatever reason. Winning 10 in a row wasn't enough, but getting your 11th against a playoff team, I think that helps the narrative for Denver. And I think Bo just playing really about perfect football. But your only critique of Nix was maybe late in this game, he kind of threw a few balls that could have been picked off by Green Bay. There were a couple questionable throws late, but you go and look through probably any quarterback on any given week and you'll be like, oh yeah, there was a missed opportunity by the defense or two. So it's you have to try and nitpick to find an issue with Bo Nix's performance. The other caveat is also how does this game shake out if Parsons doesn't get injured? Because before Parsons got hurt, he was playing, he was wrecking the game quietly, I would say. He was requiring double teams as he does. He was getting pressure. He had that strip of Harvey on the opening drive. So, that's when you lose a guy like that during the game, it's tough. When you know you're going into a game without a player like Micah, you have a game plan on how to approach it, but it's always those in-game losses to injuries that are tough.
Well, it also was the offense too, because as soon as the entire game shifted when Watson went down and Love threw that interception to Surtain, and Surtain makes a really good play on the ball. But But yeah, I mean, that took away our best wide receiver in the past few weeks because Watson has been electric when he's been on the field. And so you lose your top wide receiver, Zach Tom. Our offensive line collapsed as soon as he got hurt in that game because then your pass rush really started getting after Jordan Love. And that's when those sacks started coming in too late in the game. So yeah, you lose your starting O-line, your offensive lineman, wide receiver, and also your best pass rusher. It's going to be a tough time. So yeah, it was definitely a tale of two halves yesterday.
I do got to shout out and apologize to AK Thrive, who one of my Patreon members. He's been in our hangouts. He made a video. It's like a parody of epic rap battles between you and me. He animated it. I was supposed to get it downloaded and play it at halftime. I did not because I am disorganized.
Went to the bathroom.
I'm a bad person. But I am putting the video link in the chat right now. AK Thrive. The video's unlisted, so the only way you can watch it if you want to go check it out. AK, again, I apologize. I just popped the link in the description. It's Tom and I doing a rap battle that he animated.
I didn't even know this was made.
And wrote. Yeah, I know. I fucked up. And he wrote it. He produced it. I meant to play it, then I forgot. I forgot to even. I forget a lot, as you guys know. But there, I linked it. If you guys want to check it out,
you done did it.
Sorry,
yeah, it's about craft too. Yeah, I mean, for now, the Broncos, they officially clinched a playoff spot. So
a different kind of clinching for this team.
That's true.
We've been clinching all year, and now it paid off.
But now you got an interesting. So we were talking about before the Jaguars, man. Like that's gonna be an interesting game. And I feel like the Broncos have the Jaguars, Chiefs on Christmas, and then the Chargers. Chargers, they got themselves a big win over the Chiefs yesterday. We'll talk about that. So the Chiefs have been officially eliminated from the postseason. And dude, it sucks because now Patrick Mahomes has torn his ACL. It happens near the end of that game. And they were in field goal range to go and tie that ball game too. And Minshew throws that interception. But it sucks because it's the same thing with Parsons. This is not even for the rest of this season, right? The Packers tearing your ACL 3 games before the freaking playoffs, man, is absolutely brutal because that changes the trajectory of the entire postseason if the Packers wind up making it there. For the Chiefs, even though they're eliminated for this year, this is going to bleed into next year because you don't know how long it's going to take for him to recover, right? This is both Parsons and Mahomes. Yeah. So unfortunately, like starting off next season, you don't know what the status of your QB1 is if you're the Chiefs. And like that's pretty horrific way to end an already difficult season for Kansas City.
Yeah, I think like they have to determine the extent of the injury. I don't think there's any updates on that yet outside of that they know he tore the ACL completely. But then, you got to get the MRI. You got to see if there's any other damage, if anything else needs to be repaired. That affects your recovery and your return time. There were people like drawing the comparisons to like the Tom Brady ACL tear. Both Mahomes and Brady doing it in their 9th seasons, coming off a year after they lost a Super Bowl, like all this dumb shit. But what I know about Mahomes is I think like when you look at recovery windows, I think he'll be starting the season week 1. Now, we watched Adrian Peterson tear his ACL late, return and rush for, an ungodly amount of yards. I think it was 2,000, I think, coming off the ACL. When Mahomes dislocated his knee years ago playing the Broncos and he returned like 3 weeks later, I think he's going to, I feel like he's going to recover that way. And I'm trying to give Chiefs fans a little bit of optimism, just so you guys know I am not a complete asshole, okay? And when you look at guys, Joe Burrow tore his ACL, he returned, he was good. Tom Brady tore his ACL, returned, he was good. Phillip Rivers tore his ACL, he returned, he was good. And one John Elway played his entire career without an ACL. So it does suck this year, but I expect Mahomes to bounce back.
Yeah, we just got to see what the severity of it is.
Now, that said, and just know this has nothing to do with Mahomes' injury. This is just about the Kansas City Chiefs and the Kansas City Chiefs only. The witch is dead. The witch is dead. The witch, old witch. The witch is dead. You're fucking dead. The witch is dead. The witch is dead. The Chiefs are out of the playoffs. And it feels nice. It feels nice. ESPN just posted Chiefs eliminated. Last night, that thing had like 87,000 likes. I think it's over 90,000 this morning. So football fans are happy to not have to deal with the Chiefs in the playoffs.
I think that's what there's a graphic that said it was Brady, Mahomes, and Manning. This is the first playoff since 98.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is crazy.
Heard I got a 50.
Well, thank you, Super EB player. The Taylor Swift curse. Well, I mean, they did win. They did win a Super Bowl with Taylor. Did they win 2 Super Bowls once they started dating, or was it just one Super Bowl win and a loss? I think one.
It was at least one. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Timing. I don't know about that one.
Can't remember. With the Chiefs out of the playoffs, though, does this open the door for the Bills? That's a big question I think everybody has.
Sure.
But the the playoffs are always crazy. It doesn't really matter who's in there because the teams that get into the playoffs are good. I do want to see Bills and Patriots. I kind of want that rematch in the playoffs now. They split the series. Jags could be dangerous.
Yep. Texans.
Ravens can make a push. The Bengals got completely shut out. That was a little surprising.
Yeah, they aren't the only one. Yeah, Bengals getting shut out was surprising. The freaking Saints, man. Holy God. Shough again. Gotta shout them out. They now have swept the Panthers. And now the Buccaneers are atop the NFC South again. Again, they have it all in front of them. Whoever's going to win those 2 games is going to wind up going into the postseason. But yeah, it's Saints aren't going quietly. And I feel like there's a good amount of optimism heading into this offseason if you're in New Orleans, because it seems like you may have found the guy.
Yeah.
May have found the guy.
Back to back. Oh, there was a Tyler Shough stat out there. I can't remember. What did he do?
I'm just happy for Smythe too, man. Coming off and hitting the game winner.
Tyler Shough now has 3 career wins in the NFL, which is more than Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, and Shadur Sanders. That's kind of funny.
Shough is that guy. Yeah, I feel like for the Saints, there is needed to be this kind of optimism and like just development. And again, we'll kind of see how he looks through the rest of the season. But to be able to knock off the Panthers twice, all right. Pay spoiler against the Buccaneers, all right. I see you, Shough. I see you.
Tyler Shough.
Oh yeah, yes, no, that happens a lot. Yeah, because he was 272, 24 for 32, 272 yesterday, and got sacked 5 times, but still was able to do it.
Dude. Oh, yeah. Here's the stat. Tyler Shough, the first Saints rookie QB to win multiple games since Archie Manning. Now, how many rookie QBs have they had that started games? Like, I don't know, but it's one of those fun stats.
There it is. Yeah, but I mean, the Panthers, nobody wants to win the NFC South. It's just, Here you go. Falcons playing spoiler, the Saints playing spoiler, and it just feels like whatever team wins. I don't know, who would you be more afraid of right now in the playoffs, the Panthers or the Buccaneers, if you had to pick one? Right? Like that's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah, honestly, probably the Buccaneers. I think they have more explosive, consistent talent on offense, you know? That would just be my, like, trying to defend all their ball catchers and running backs. There's talent there. And the Panthers are developing it. Like Tedero McMillan's had a nice rookie season. We've seen good games from Xavier Legette lately, but it's just not the same as where Tampa is. But I kind of want to, like, it's tough because, like, I love Baker Mayfield, and I was having so much fun watching him early in the season win all those close games. And I want Baker in the playoffs because I think he's like he's a gamer, and that's the kind of guy you want to watch in the postseason, where the game's never really out of it. A little volatile in his play, but it's fun. So I want that, but I'm also rooting for Bryce Young and the Panthers. Like, I would be very happy for Carolina if they could sneak their way back in, and they're going to have to earn their spot there. They got to play Tampa twice. So whoever does get in, whether it's Carolina or Tampa, they're going to earn their spot down the last 3 games here, even if the whole body of work's been a little up and down this season.
Yeah. Can Cohen win Coach of the Year? I think he's at least going to get nominated, because I think Vrabel's up there too. Johnson could be up there. Shanahan could be up there. But yeah, could he? I just feel like he's not getting enough press, if that makes sense. But if the Jaguars, for example, like if they beat the Broncos, right, and their 11-game win streak, I'll give them some coverage.
Yeah, I have him as the winning coach in winners and losers right now. But I think it's like between him and Vrabel in terms of coming into a new situation and immediately righting the ship. That's impressive.
Yeah.
You could argue even for Sean Payton at this point. Kyle Shanahan's in the mix there. There's a lot of good Coach of the Year candidates right now.
Yeah. I don't think we've built it around one guy. I mean, our secondary's not awful. Our corners are a problem. Our safety room has gotten much better, but I mean, that's what Goody did by going to get McKinney. They drafted Bullard. But yeah, I mean, Evan Williams is really good too. It's just the problem is our corners were a problem heading into this year, and they only drafted one guy, and now he's on the Titans. So yeah, it's still a problem. But that's the problem with the Packers too going forward, is like just their pass rush has been so good, is that when that's neutralized, like you saw yesterday, you could dice up that secondary. And yeah, that's been a problem before the season, and it's a problem now. So we'll see how they adjust, but that is going to be a tough thing to try and overcome.
Yep, I agree. O'Reilly. That's all right. He got a pick later.
Look at old man Phillip Rivers. Look at him go. Dude, you see his post-game press conference?
Yeah, his speech was pretty cool. It was about, not being scared if you get an opportunity. Well, how to overcome your fear when you do get an opportunity. And I think that's kind of the more important message there. But like, just talking about being scared to go play for Indy and hoping that is a lesson for his high school, teammate or students that he coaches, and that, when you do get adversity and you get these things, that the fear and the doubt is natural. And he said that in his opening press conference too. And I think he showed everybody that, no matter how scared you are, you too can one day lose to the Seattle Seahawks in heartbreaking fashion.
I mean, yeah.
I think that's the message, right?
I think so. I do think McCarthy is developing, because he also he had a really good game last week too. It was against Commanders defense, but no, I think, Dallas's defense is bad. Don't get me wrong, but no, JJ looked good last night.
Yeah. The way this game ended was kind of wild, because Rivers leads a game-winning drive, basically. Old man Rivers gets him into field goal range, a long field goal for Blake Grupe, who's been with the Colts for 2 games. Grupe was cut by the Saints this season, right? He hits a 60-yard game winner, except for there was 47 seconds left. And the Seahawks get a return out to the 37-yard line.
Yep.
I was just watching this, so it's fresh in my brain. And for the second time this season, the Seahawks, with very little time left in the game, I think because of the new kickoff rules, have benefited from getting great field position, because you can't just kick a touchback now. And I think that kind of sucks in these situations for, the teams that just scored. But it took 2 completions for Seattle to get into range. And then Jason Myers hit his 6th field goal of the game, a 56-yard game winner. The Colts had all 3 timeouts, but just like 11 seconds, and Rivers threw up a prayer that got, picked by the Seahawks. So a crazy conclusion to this game, one that Indy played pretty competitively, just gave up too many field goals in the 4th quarter.
Their defense, they played really well because the Seahawks offense could not do anything with the football, man, besides kick field goals.
Yeah.
So, and considering that has been the weak point of the Colts, especially that secondary, dude, that's a good look for Indianapolis. And while they are still on the outside looking in at the playoffs right now, I don't know. I mean, I am a little higher on them than I was. To be able to go into Seattle and have this kind of competitive game with a 44-year-old quarterback. Yeah, I think you give them a lot of credit there. And now for Seattle, they were able to get this win, which they needed to do because now they have a date with destiny on Thursday, man, because that game is against the Rams. Oh, boy. That's going to determine who's going to win that division. So
short week, coming off a tough game against Indy. The Rams, they took care of business against the Lions.
Yeah, Pablo Valentine, I mean, he's had a pretty good season so far. And honestly, you can make the argument that he's probably our best corner. Take that as it is. His tackling has never been great, but yeah, wasn't a good day yesterday. But we had the whole entire secondary didn't look good yesterday. And that second half was just rough. So, but that's what happens when your pass rush can't get after that. A good ask the 49ers all those years that they had that amazing pass rush, right? And it made their secondary look a lot better because they were able to get pressure via 4 guys. But they need corner help. They needed corner help before this season. I'm shocked they didn't address it. Keprin.
Huh?
Lions game?
Yes, Lions.
Look at Jahmyr Gibbs, only 38 yards. Sun God had himself a hell of a game, though. Puka went off.
The Rams, they're a tough team to run against. And we know when Detroit doesn't have a ton of success running, they typically lose football games. But I think Blake Corum for the Rams has been just insane the last couple of weeks. And they now have 2 really good running backs. Their offense is becoming harder to defend as the season goes on right now. So that's a little bit scary. Puka Nacua, insane game, 181 yards. And this game changed on the Colby Parkinson touchdown.
Yeah.
So the Lions were up 24. I think it was 24-20.
Chargers got in front of them.
And then Stafford throws a pass to Parkinson. It looks like he's down inbounds. And then the ball kind of bobbles, and it looks like maybe he regains possession in the end zone. They give the Rams the touchdown. It was a controversial call or ruling, which I get. But the way that the Rams were moving the ball, they would have had the ball on the 2 or 3 yard line, and I really believe they score either with Blake Corum or Kyron Williams there. So as shitty as that call is, I don't think it changed the game much for the Rams. But it was after that moment that the Lions kind of just stymied on offense, and the Rams scored 17 fourth quarter, it was right at the end of the 3rd. They got that touchdown, and then they scored another touchdown. They scored 21 points in a short window there to get the win. So it looks like they kind of controlled the game, but Detroit was in it. And I think Goff had a really good first half too. But that was a big loss for the Lions. But Detroit caught a break with both Dallas losing and the Panthers losing, because the Lions are still ahead of, both of those teams right now in the 8th seed. So as shitty as that loss is for the Lions, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, they don't clinch the division. I think they might clinch a spot. Yeah, the Lions are currently at a 41% chance. So, like I said, that game against the Bears is going to be real interesting because that could be. We'll see what the Bears do, because the Bears wind up winning, I think, their next 2 games, one against the Packers and their next game. I think they clinch the NFC North. So this is starting to be for all the marbles in the division. And they blew out the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, they beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, dominated. Pure domination. Caleb Williams played nice.
Yep.
Shadur, those 3 interceptions. Now, one of those picks, Jerry Jeudy just handed to the fucking defense. It was probably Shadur's best throw of the game. Lays it right into Jerry Jeudy's hands. Should have been a touchdown. And Jeudy can't catch it. And I forget who picked it there. But they just like, oh, thank you for the football, Jerry.
Dude, the DJ Moore touchdown, that Caleb threw when he was rolling out to the right and like threw across his body, and it was like over like 2 or 3 defenders. That was an insane throw, an insane catch. And I feel like that's what you've been getting with Caleb Williams too. And there's been some Bears fans who are like, oh man, you see those similarities because you see how you act during Jordan Love throwing it. And you're like, oh my God, this is the worst throw. How did he catch that ball? That's the most perfect pass I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, man, Caleb Williams balled out yesterday. He did.
Yeah.
Top 10 pick. We'll see. That's going to be tough. But yeah, Bears, man, they're back on top of the division. They go from the 7 seed to the 2 seed. And yeah, we'll see what happens on Saturday. Prime time in Chicago against the Packers.
Yeah, I loved Caleb's answer in that press conference. The confidence he had. Did you see that? Is that what you just mentioned? Did you miss
the throw?
No, what he said afterwards.
No.
Yeah, after they asked him, like, somebody asked him if he should be making that throw. Like, is that a throw that you should be doing? And he was like, yes, I can make any throw. Just like blunt and blatant about it. And that's what you want from your quarterback, from your first overall QB.
Yeah. Yeah, CJ, that's good. I right now I feel more confident about the Rams than I do the Seahawks after they showed like that game against the Colts. It is a week by week league, and it doesn't mean diddly squat. But I feel like the Rams, who already have a win over the Seahawks, it'll be tough to play in Seattle because it'll be rocking in Lumen. But yeah, I feel better about the Rams right now because I think they're just more consistent. Like, yes, they did lose to the Panthers, but I have a little bit more confidence in them right now. A little bit. We'll see. See how Stafford plays. So, Broncos over the Texans. Yeah. Broncos over the Texans right now. I mean, it's a fun playoff. It's weird not seeing the Chiefs in there.
I feel very natural to me.
Well, the thing is, too, is because the Dolphins, who haven't even played yet, they're like almost eliminated, even though like we were talking about like, oh, maybe they can. Dude, they can win 5 straight games tonight because Jaylen Warren, he's now questionable because he's got an illness tonight. So who the hell knows? The real question is going to be the Ravens and the Steelers. Who's going to not botch that ending? And the Colts, they got a 17% chance. So, like, the AFC is already mostly set. It feels like we just need to see the AFC North winner. So, Texans playing well, man. Like, I want to see the Texans in the postseason. I think they could do some damage.
I was just looking for the Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wait, they're not on the bubble. I was like, did they get eliminated?
No,
did I forget
eliminated.
they got eliminated? No, they're
currently leading the division.
Seed. I keep forgetting.
Yep.
They've just been so wildly inconsistent. That was a brain fart. Yeah, so that if the Steelers lose, they go to 7-8. No, 7-7. That'll tie them with the Ravens.
Yep.
Good God, what a mess.
The AFC North is a nightmare.
Usually
it's a nightmare because it's like, wow, they're so tough. It's just a nightmare for all the other reasons. I just said that. Yeah. So Warren is now questionable with an illness. He just got sick. So, but the Ravens, man, they showed the hell up yesterday.
Yeah. I feel like guys always play through the illness now, though. You know, you always hear that they're sick and then they inject them with all the magic and then they go out there and they play through it.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last guy who actually missed a key player who missed a game with like the flu or being sick or something? I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, because I feel like you do hear that a lot of like, oh man, like, yeah, they're playing through it.
How do I feel about the Umazumi? What is that? What is that?
I don't
know what that is, so I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it.
There you go. All right. Yeah, I mean, Ravens, they needed this kind of game. And Lamar Jackson, like, he threw the ball 12 times, right? Like, he didn't have to do a ton through the air, but
it's horse racing anime. Okay, what is this shit, Jory? This feels like some Jory shit if I've ever heard it. Okay, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing?
There we go. Look, Derrick Henry, 100 yards, 11 carries.
I only carried 11 times.
Zay Flowers had a terrible drop in this game.
Yes. Oh, that touchdown, dude, was wide open.
But he bounced back. And he scored his first touchdown since, I think, week 1. And I would say, you know, I think we just thought this was going to be what we saw from the Ravens for most of the season here. Fuck. Their offense looked normal. Their defense shuts out the Bengals. I'm surprised the Bengals didn't find a way to score at all, but like,
yeah,
I still don't know what to make of the Ravens, dude. I
don't either.
Every time I start to go, you know what? Actually, they're good. They're going to be all right. It's like the next game, either their offense or defense lets them down. So we'll see next week.
It's just going to come down to, I mean, because the Packers play the Ravens too. So it's a week from Saturday.
Oh,
Ravens,
wow. Yeah.
It's the Ravens schedule at the end of the year. So they got the Patriots on Sunday night, which now, because they flexed that game and folks are like, I don't know. Now that's got a lot of interesting scenarios in there. Then they play the Packers and then they play the Steelers. So the Ravens, they're another team. They have it all in front of them, man. They got to win some games. They got to win some football games. It's going to be tough. But now they don't have to deal with Micah Parsons, so that makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, Cincinnati, they're done. Ravens, mostly dead, but they are still alive. How about this game, though? Holy crap, the second half from the Buffalo Bills. Also, Perna got a fitty.
Woo! Dang! We got to watch Scooter's heartbreak while Tom was triumphant live on stream, and months later, Tom's heartbreak while Perna was triumphant on stream.
Yes.
That'll probably be when the Rams beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl. That'll be my heartbreak. But I'll be happy to be in the
Rams in the Super Bowl.
When the Rams beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl, that would be my heartbreak live on stream.
Got it.
Super Bowl or bust. Yeah, biggest comeback victory in Gillette Stadium for any team. The Bills were down 21-0. Drake Maye, 2 rushing TDs early. Travion Henderson went off in this game, busted another 50-yard touchdown. But the Bills scored right before halftime, which was crucial for them. And then 28 points in the second half. And their defense allowed just 1 touchdown, which I believe it gave the Pats the lead back in the fourth. But I think it was on Good Morning Football this morning, I heard that the Bills have one of, if not the best second half defenses in the NFL this year. So what their defense does in terms of adjustments through the course of the game, it pays dividends in the second half. They didn't have Christian Benford in this one. So as Trey White got a pick, it's basically an arm punt late from Drake Maye. Matt Milano had a key sack on 3rd and 7, and 5 straight touchdowns for the Bills in the when they started scoring, basically. Just 5 straight touchdown drives. Which is concerning if you're a Patriots fan, because part of the reason you've been so successful is your defense. Now, and I think the last couple games, Patriots defense has struggled to stop the run. And for like the first 10 games or 9 games, they were one of the best run defenses in the league. And so this is not the time where you want your defense to start being gashed by the run game in December heading into the postseason. So maybe that's a weakness for them going forward. I don't really know.
Yeah, but dude, this is a huge win for the Bills. I mean, like, obviously if you're the Patriots, you're kind of disappointed here. But the Bills, like, having this kind of momentum and I don't know, man. Like, I've been pretty down on the Bills because it's like, okay, they just are wildly inconsistent. This is a big game for them to go into Gillette and actually win. And now, like, dude, who knows? They could still technically win the division.
Yeah.
So,
and it's funny. I'm talking about the Patriots' run defense when the Bills gave up 246.
Yep.
And still got the win. Because the Bills do have one of the worst run defenses in the league, and that's been pretty consistent all year. But I think like Mike Vrabel, he said it best in his post game, and they're asking about like, trying to stop Josh Allen. He's like, what do you want me to do? He's 6'5", he's strong, he's fast, he's accurate. Like,
yeah, not having Milton Williams is that's a game changer there.
Yeah, that's been tough for him. And since losing him is when their run defense has started to be susceptible.
Yep.
But when Josh Allen is on, like, he's so fucking hard to
insane,
stop,
man. But that's why their window's always open when they have Josh Allen, right? Because like he's just like, all right. Dan Marino has played like double the amount of games that Josh Allen has currently played. So we got to wait a little while.
Yeah,
before we're crowning Josh Allen. But
yeah, and Allen's been in the playoffs way more than Marino. So
it is true. Week 1, very different from week 15. Just a little bit. Yeah, Philadelphia, they finally looked like they were back. It is against the Raiders, so you take that with the smallest grain of salt ever. But their offense actually looked good. So that was it was a get right game. And I feel like the Raiders are a good team for teams that need to get right. They shut them out 31-0. It was an ugly ass game.
Yeah, poor Kenny Pickett didn't have a revenge game.
No,
sorry, Kenny.
Dude, I mean, just has there. I feel like it's hyperbole, so I don't want to like over exaggerate. But in terms of expectations, Ashton Genty, oh my God. And it's not fully his fault. Let me be very clear. Like, their offensive line is atrocious. But dude, like, these stat lines that are coming out from this season are brutal.
Yeah.
Dude,
honestly, if Ashton Genty played for the Eagles, probably would have had 40 rushing yards in this game.
Maybe 4 first-round picks. So, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Saquon had a pretty good day. Their run game looked pretty solid, even with Tank too. So yeah, they
stuck with it, and I think that's
yeah,
they're winning.
Yeah,
so they don't have to force anything. But yeah, just Eagles needed that win.
Yeah,
but it's the Raiders, so nobody really cares. Tom Brady is a terrible minority owner. That's all I know. Tom Brady sucks at being a minority owner. Somehow the Raiders are worse with Tom Brady in the building.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you bring Satan directly into your home, specifically in Sin City, Raiders.
The ultimate sin.
But Raiders will be in play to possibly draft a quarterback, so we'll see how that goes.
Let's talk about that Minnesota-Dallas game.
Yeah.
Dude, Trevor was insane yesterday, man. The Jaguars, that was one of the best. I mean, he hasn't thrown interceptions, 3 weeks now? But like he looked real good yesterday. Woo. I loved everything about it. So let's go Jags. This game was really competitive. It was actually a really fun game. And this is kind of something that, first of all, Dak Prescott not throwing a touchdown, a little surprising there. And the Vikings turned it over immediately. But Brandon Aubrey missing 2 field goals last night. I know one was from 59. I think the other one was from 51. You don't see that very often. But JJ, they look pretty good, man.
Yeah, McCarthy's playing well. And I think probably giving Vikings fans a little bit of hope and optimism.
Yep.
Because they were down bad.
Yeah.
9?
9
has turned it around. Jalen Naylor, both
2
of his
touchdowns, right?
Yeah, Naylor's solid.
Oh, I know. He's been a problem at times.
And I think like that's what we expected from Minnesota this season was like the passing game, like the receivers to really help out JJ McCarthy. It's just been derailed by injuries. It was good to see TJ Hawkinson in the mix. And the Cowboys.
Because Justin Jefferson had a touchdown, but it got called back for a penalty.
Oh, poor Justin. The Cowboys, how many times have they done it? They've allowed over 30 points. I want to say 7 times, but I'm mixing numbers in my head, so I don't know for sure. After looking decent, like they were correcting, their defense has reverted back to
what it was.
Yeah.
Because Quentin Williams got banged up in this game. But yeah, it's like you said, we've been talking about this with the Vikings. This is now the second week in a row that JJ McCarthy has looked good. And while that's a very small sample size, you have a lot more hope and optimism than you had, because this is now your entire season. If JJ can look good these last 3 games, all right, now you're rocking going into the offseason. Still got to figure out your cap issues, but maybe we will get Bears, Jaguars. And the Cowboys, again, not mathematically eliminated, but have a 1% chance to make the playoffs. So
yeah, they're
pretty
much
much
down. They're down. And it's like, hey, don't write a quarterback off after just a couple bad games. You got to get reps. You got to get comfortable, and then we'll see what he can do.
Dude, Bills Rams would be crazy. Hawks Broncos rematch. Let's go.
Yeah. You know what?
See you on Saturday.
A revenge Super Bowl against Seattle. I'll take it.
Yeah. Would that break your heart to have to go to the Super Bowl? Oh,
yep.
Man. Like, I guess.
Yes, we'll take on Sam Darnold. And
dude, I hope it happens at this point. 49ers, if they're able to get the 1 seed, which mathematically still can happen, why not? Bring all the chaos, man. Give Shanahan Coach of the Year.
Oh.
And then just the Jets having to watch Robert Saleh have the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
What a time. Oh, in Oklahoma. Oh, in Loveland. There you go.
Nice. Born in Loveland. Okay. Grew up in Oklahoma. I've been to Oklahoma a few times. Thanks for watching.
That's right. Yeah, it's Bears and 49ers in a couple weeks. I forgot that they're playing each other. Bears have an interesting road, man, because they got the Packers, the 49ers, and then they got the Lions. 3 games left, baby. It's going to get interesting.
Used to go to Grand Lake in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Got some nice lakes out there.
Grand Lake.
Yeah. Niners, Purdy. They're playing well. The Titans didn't roll over. They didn't roll over. Jeffrey Simmons had a touchdown in this game. Did you see that?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it was an extended play, and he just leaked to the back of the end zone and kept popping down until Cam Ward saw him. But yeah, the Niners, it's hard to get excited about them after doing this to Tennessee, but they've been holding on all year. And I love Brock Purdy, his apology right after immediately taunting Cody Barton with the football. He did something. He did one of these at Barton's face right before he went out of bounds. And after the game, he was like, I apologized to him immediately because I didn't know why I did that. It was a dumb move for me to do. Respect, Brock. Lots of respect.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, also, Cameron Ward, still looking solid. And Titans, 2 weeks in a row with a run game?
I think 3. Hasn't Pollard popped off a few times now?
I mean, I just remember last week, they looked real good last week.
I think he's had 3 big games. Oh, you're right, just 2. I could have sworn he had.
Calvin Johnson's been wondering what a touchdown is for quite some time, so it makes sense.
Oh.
It's fine. Perna, how do you feel about good sports?
They will fail, and I am not worried.
They become the biggest show on the planet. but then people are looking for good sports. Look at that. They find you. So it works out.
Yeah.
Washington and Commanders, they ended their losing streak. That's good. That's something.
Yeah, that's a game that didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was a good game, but in terms of being chaotic.
No, it was not very good though. Yeah, I think we got that. Oh yeah, Houston and Arizona. Holy crap, Houston. I saw Steve Wilkes got fired. Yep. There goes the DC of the Jets. Yeah, because they haven't gotten a single interception this year. That's
a
that's tough,
losing
man.
stat.
That is tough. Dude, Brock, I mean, I had to pick on Wednesday, but yeah, I would lean Dolphins right now. I would lean them because no Warren, or Warren might not play, and then no TJ. That's tough. Yeah, my pick'ems were awful this week. But what I've been saying for the past month, if the Texans offense can catch up with their defense, and I think we're starting to get into territory. They're looking, again, it is against the Cardinals. With the Cardinals, man, they've taken a lot of teams down to the wire. They had like 7 one-score games so far this season.
Yeah, but that's just because they've been scoring points.
Yeah.
And the good news for Houston, your offense is going to look good against the Raiders next week. So
yeah,
you should be good there. But the Chargers, if the Texans can score like they did in their victory over the Cardinals against the Chargers, then yes, they're going to be a fully dangerous team, because they also they had a nice punt return in this game. So they got yards from their special teams. They forced a fumble on one of the kick returns. It was the most complete game of the season for Houston in terms of the offense, defense, special teams.
Yep.
And a guy I was writing about for winners and losers, in his first ever NFL game, Jahar Jordan, 101 yards, 15 carries. So, and he got this opportunity because Chubb's injured. Woody Marks, we know, pretty solid running back. He's been pretty good for him consistently through the whole season. But if the Texans have like a guy who can get you an explosive play out of the backfield, and he had one 50-yard run in this game, I was like, who the fuck is Jahar Jordan? Like, I've never heard of this guy, and it was his first game. So I was like, okay,
awesome.
At least I wasn't like missing him playing every week.
Yeah.
And I think Houston, if they can run the ball, at least like complimentary to help CJ Stroud, you're right. Like that is not a team you're going to want to play if they can score 20 plus points a game. I don't expect them to score 40 against good defenses, but yeah, it's Houston. Optimism.
I mean, CJ had a great game. And I mean, the Chargers, because they're 2 games behind the Broncos right now, and they still got to play them in the final week of the season. They could. It's a crazy stat. Chargers need the Jaguars to win next week for them to have a shot. That's what they need.
Yeah, Jaguars, they'll get a reality check. Because Trevor Lawrence did have an insane game. Right? I don't want to try and take anything away from the Jags. But it was the Jets. Now, Denver, they barely beat the Jets. So I'm not saying it's nothing. But at this point in the season, it feels like the Jets are checked out.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a smidge.
Yeah, you said the Chargers, so let's go to the game where they did officially eliminate the Kansas City Chiefs from the.
I think honestly, 11-6 is a fair record for the Texans, right? Because I think they beat the Raiders, and then I think they win either the Chargers or the Colts game. They technically could win all 3, but I think they at least win 2. So yeah. Dude, and real quick, sorry to go back to the Texans. I feel like the Texans have done a really nice job adjusting this year, because Joe Mixon, who was a standout for them last year, right? He hasn't played all season. They haven't had Tank Dell. Their offensive line has been a problem. And the fact that now, like, they seem to be peaking at the right time, they deserve a lot of credit, man. They're playing well. They're doing well. Sorry, continue. Are you just staring at it because it gets more beautiful?
Yeah, it's thank you, Chargers. You beat the Chiefs, and your quarterback only had one functioning hand. One functioning hand. This game, though, it's the Chargers defense that, in my opinion, was the star of this game. They sacked Mahomes 5 times. You rarely see Mahomes take 5 sacks in a football game. 2 picks. One was the game ender from Gardner Minshew, but I think it was Deion Henley who had the pick of Mahomes in the red zone that stopped a Chiefs drive late in this game. So yeah, it's the Chargers defense is a problem. Kansas City did a pretty good job against the Chargers run game. And early in this game, it looked like the Chargers weren't going to have a chance to win this. Like the Chiefs were kind of dominating this game early, but they just hung around. Like the Chargers hung around, and to me, they're like one of the hardest teams to close out and beat. They don't give up. Things are going to be ugly every week. And I think down the stretch here, it's going to continue to be ugly. Well, they got the Cowboys. We'll call that a bye. But then they got Houston and Denver in two games they have to win to end this season. Unless, of course, Denver's clinched and we're giving them the Chiefs treatment and resting our starters. Not sure yet.
That's the thing about the Chargers too, is because like even if they just get a wild card spot, like they're playing like, all right, you have to worry about their offensive line, of course, but dude, they're a gritty ass football team this year.
Yeah, and their line is not good, and they're keeping extra dudes out there. I think they're using like Penning as an extra tackle on plays, lining him up as like tight end. They're using a ton of Scott Matlock at fullback. So they're trying to get protection in other ways, and they're still struggling to get protection. But after the first quarter, like their game plan looked like crap. And then it kind of felt like they found sort of how to chip away at this one.
And again, the Chiefs were about to tie it at the end too. Mahomes gets injured and then it's an interception. But hey, close divisional game on the road. I think the Broncos are going to win a playoff game.
I hope so, man. Every game's close, but I like the way the Broncos are winning.
I saw that. Isn't that like against regulations that they didn't clean the snow off of the seats? I could have sworn that I saw something about that yesterday. Yeah, it's not great.
That does suck. Go to the game, snow still on your chair. Got a frozen butt.
They're violating NFL policy for not cleaning snow. That's what takes down the Bengals. It's not like, not getting Joe Burrow an offensive line or like all this crap with Trey Hendrickson. It's they didn't clean the snow off the seats.
Too cheap to pay for snow removal. And instead, hopefully the fine is more than what the snow removal would have cost them to do.
That's it. Oh, Carl, I know that would put a smile on Satan's face. Tonight, Dolphins Steelers. I would have thought it would have been more important for the Dolphins, but like they're already they're not technically eliminated, but it's not good. They don't have a lot of optimism. But for the Steelers, man, down TJ Watt. We'll see if Warren plays. The Steelers need to look pretty good tonight to try and hold on to that division lead because Ravens, they have a big win. We'll see.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins to play spoiler. I kind of want I want the Dolphins to win just to make the AFC North that much more chaotic.
Yes, I agree. Oh, there you go. There's Jory.
Damn it, Jory.
It's during the Super Bowl you play it.
Okay. There you go. There you go.
Rematch against Carolina. I mean, I think Perna would love to play the Panthers in the Super Bowl because I think that would be an easier game to win.
You can give me one matchup in the Super Bowl from the NFC, I will happily take Carolina again.
That's it.
No offense.
Dog dude. Hey, let's go. Chicago, Green Bay in 8 days. Let's go. That's going to be one hell of a game to go to. Cleveland, nice. Chicago. Hey, rooting for the Bears. He had a good day. Pretty good. Enjoy that game, Anthony. Let's go. Perna, what do you got coming out?
The Broncos recap will be up shortly after this stream ends.
There you go. Dude, Bo and T-Law. Dude, that's going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah.
That's going to be a really, really good game. That's a big game for both teams, too. Who knows, man? Maybe the Jaguars can sneak in and get that number 1 seed.
I would not enjoy that.
Fine, Perna's coffee. Go and get it. Go and get it. Oh, yeah, coffee. It's honestly, the loss is, the Broncos are a good football team, so it's irrelevant at this point. It's the Parsons loss, which makes it so much worse, man. Yeah, if the Broncos just like beat, even if they just rolled the Packers, I'm like, all right, that sucks, man, but still got 3 games left. We'll see what happens. Now it just unfortunately changes a whole lot for this season for the Packers.
Think about it this way, Packers fans. You're back to looking at this season the way you were looking at it mid-August before the Micah Parsons trade. There was a time you were going into the season and you did not have Micah Parsons, and you were optimistic. You got to get back into that mindset for these final 3 games. See? That's helpful, right?
I have a skit coming out today. I'll be streaming Monday Night Football, and then every NFL fan's reaction to Week 15 will be dropping after that stream. So we'll have all those coming out tonight. So, well, folks, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on Wednesday for GPS. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. It's GPS. You've been navigated.
You reached your destination. First place for the Broncos. Suck it, Chiefs.
Pain.
Suck it.